So many people ask me if I've seen Dantes' video about Hextech chests, and I think it's about time I take a look and see what I think about it, because apparently it's got a controversial take, maybe? I don't know, let's see what it says. Let's see.
I'm about to give a very unpopular take, but if you watch this entire video, then by the end of it, you'll probably agree with me.
Oh, sure, I have time, let's go.
For those that have been living under a rock, recently there's been a bunch of controversy regarding Riot, and the reason why is over a very simple thing. Hextech chests.
Yes, but there's also something else happening with Riot. And this is what I want to say about Riot right now, which is the main thing about Riot, is the fact that they're kind of, in my opinion, they're too focused on making profits, on meeting deadlines, making more and more stuff. They're having a patch every 2 weeks, providing like the new stuff and so on and so on. But they don't really focus on the existing stuff. Existing systems like Hextech chests were amazing. The skins, how they worked, were amazing. But then they introduced the gacha system. It's very annoying. In my opinion, it's just bullshit to have that gacha system in the game. It's not great, in my opinion. And it's predatory. Nobody likes it except Riot because it makes them more money, right? That's how it goes. And unfortunately, that's what Riot is focusing on too much, in my opinion. They're not looking at the current systems they have. They work. Why fix them if they're not broken? We have to make more money, unfortunately, right? So Riot needs to be careful how they move forward. They need to be very careful. Otherwise, people are just going to complain. That's not great.
For legitimately the last 10 years, Riot has had Hextech chests in the game.
Yep.
And they were a way that you could play, and by getting good scores on different champions, you would actually get chests in which you could unlock skins, icons, emotes, or even champions.
It's really what I really liked about chests is the fact that you get rewarded for being a nice player, non-toxic, right? You play well, your third house, you get an S-, or you play with friends, so they get S- for you. You get a chest. You have to change champions every week for a different chest, which is amazing. You learn every different champion. It's very cool. And then for the keys, you need to be honorable. Have honor level, you get the honor capsules, you get keys. Very good system. Promotes positive vibes, positive attitude from players. Now they remove it. It's kind of like, damn, what do you give us instead? A battle pass? Where the free rewards are just blue essence? Come on, like what? It's just yeah.
In short, it was used as a way to reward the community and the player base for the hours that they would invest in Riot's game as kind of a thank you. And for 10 years, these existed in the game with no problem until recently, when Riot made an announcement that the battle passes would no longer give chests or orbs anymore, and that you would not be able to earn chests from just playing the game.
Over time, though, free chests unintentionally became the primary way to unlock skins, and an increasing number of players ended up with substantial skin collections for free.
And why is that the problem? Let me tell you why that's a problem. For us players, it's like everybody, you know, you have some players that invested so much, got all the like battle passes, all the random skins, they keep getting skin shards, they upgrade every skin shard, and eventually they have basically every skin in the game, and they can re-roll skins. You just re-roll, the new skin comes out, re-roll skin shards. You get every new skin for free. You get all the, what they call them, Hextech, no, the ones, the prestige ones. You get every prestige skin for free, just re-roll. That was like a cool end goal for people. It's like you pay this amount of money in the long term, you eventually get all the skins, then you get all the new future skins basically for free, or maybe just buy a battle pass every now and then. And that's so cool. Such a cool end goal. But Riot doesn't want that, because now those players, once they reach that end goal, that's it. They don't make more money. And they go up, pay money, boom, done. They don't really pay any more money. So Riot is not increasing profits, right? And it's a big problem right now with every company, not just Riot. Companies and investors, they just want more and more profits, more and more money each year. Especially after COVID, because they saw that big boom, right? And they hired too many people, now the layoffs happened as well. And it's just such a toxic environment where they want more and more stuff instead of trying to preserve what they already have, the player base they already have, the cool system they have that draw people in the first place, right? It's a bit sad to see this happening.
So we took a step back to evaluate League's reward systems and realized we needed to make changes to be sustainable for the long run.
This is about ensuring the sustainable long-term health of League, though. And we do hope this is helpful context for those of you who've been wondering.
Long-term health of League, you mean, you know, more profits.
What our thinking was with this change.
Obviously, after the response, people thought that they were trolling. They were saying that there's no way that Riot would actually commit to something like that because it's such an ingrained thing in our community and in our game that they couldn't possibly just remove it.
Yeah, I remember when I was in high school, right? Every Wednesday evening, my weekly Hextech chest would reset. So just queue up in normal games with my friends in high school, like classmates. It was so cool. It every Wednesday evening. It was so nice. Damn. Not anymore, I guess.
Well, everyone who said that was very wrong. Because a few days ago, 2 rioters actually went on camera and for 10 minutes went on a long tangent explaining how Hextech chests are never going to be returning to the game and how
Never going to be returning? That's what Blizzard said in Overwatch with loot boxes. And guess what? They're back. They're back, right? And also about this never returning. There are a lot of things that companies say that are just not going to be true because they change their mind, because people backlash and people complain. So in my opinion, if you look at, let's see, let's go to any, like, what's the most recent video from Riot? League of Legends. Most recent video. Probably the Mordekaiser skin one. Okay, let's look at the comments. Just scroll a bit. Okay. And control find test. Every comment is about Hextech chests. There's no exception. Every single comment. Name one that doesn't have Hextech chests. Yeah, this is what we should do, right? And if you want to change something as a community, we need to complain. We need to do everything we can. We need to bitch about everything as much as we can until Riot listens. That's it, right? That's how we need to change stuff. So this is great to see that communities fight together to fight against Riot because we want chests back and so on, right?
Oh, the fact that they were in the game has been limiting the company from making as much money as they could for years. See, Riot's argument was that Hextech chests actually reduced their profits because people, instead of buying skins, would just wait until they'd unlock them from a chest.
Bro.
So obviously, since they're a company, they want to make sure that people are actually buying the content that they're putting out there, especially in a free-to-play game. So their argument was, why would we not remove it? And that is the part that I agree with them on. But there's a...
Yeah, fair, right? But you know, maybe he's gonna say this. I want to say it maybe first. Because if you remove Hextech chests and keep the game as it is, okay, sure, cool. You know, Hextech chests, you know, they just take too much money away, cool. But then, on top of removing Hextech chests, you introduce the gacha system. It's like, okay, choose one. You remove chests and everything is the same, no problem. You just have legendary skins, epic skins, all good. You just buy them like $10, $15 per month maybe to buy a cool skin, let's go. But if you remove chests, or if let's say you don't remove chests and introduce the gacha, cool, you have those very expensive skins for the whales, but average player doesn't really spend money, gets the chests, and they're happy, and they make money from whales. But instead they did both. They did both at the same time, and I think that's just very silly. It's too greedy, I don't know.
There's a lot more that goes behind it. In my opinion, I do think that the removal of Hextech chests was a good thing. Because being able to get cosmetics that don't impact gameplay at all from a chest, which is the only real way that Riot can make money, is not a great thing for the company in terms of a business standpoint.
I can agree with this, right? But don't add other predatory systems, right?
The real issue that I have with Riot, and I think many of you do as well has to do not necessarily with just the fact of the Hextech chests, but it's the fact that the Hextech chests serve as a catalyst for the real reason why people are fed up with Riot. And that reason
let's see.
is very simple. That they just don't care about their community anymore.
You don't care about their community anymore. I feel like this is kind of true in a way. Because a lot of the times the community wants something, Riot doesn't really do much about it. You know? Yeah, like for example, look at I don't know, Arcane Fractured Jinx, the new skin that came out, right? With the gacha system. People really complain about the hoodie. And they don't think the skin is good enough. Sure, they gave us the hoodie on one of the forms, but it doesn't change the fact that the skin is kind of overpriced, the way of obtaining is bad. The skin still has a few bugs. If you dance with that skin, the music stops after a little bit. And if you last hit minions with the powder form, with rockets, there's like no animation on the rocket, it just disappears. And if you look at the hoodie form, in reality, you can tell like the hoodie is kind of floating. So it's like they made a quick adjustment in like a day to meet the deadlines. So instead, it's like, you know what they should do? If the community complains about something, they should stay, okay, we don't release this now because it's not great. Let's wait for a few more weeks, a month, to rethink things through. And then we release a better product. And then sure, you can monetize it however you want, but at least make it as best as you can. Instead, we're just too preoccupied with meeting these deadlines, which lowers the quality of the game, which means we can't really listen to player feedback because we don't have time to listen to player feedback because we are too busy doing the content, right? Because everything at Riot is planned 1 year ahead, at least. That's how Riot does things, right?
Riot's always been a company that's prided itself on being a small indie company, especially in earlier years of development.
Earlier, yes.
They always sat there and they would always talk about how they're more of a family than they are a company, and how they just want to make sure that they provide a great game that people can enjoy while also sticking true to their core beliefs. Over recent years, however, that facade has kind of faded.
Yeah, because like there's too many people. And the more people you have, the harder it is to manage all of them, and the harder it is to communicate and do everything right. There's too many things that could go wrong in the middle.
It all started a few years ago when Riot Games actually came under a sexual misconduct lawsuit because there would be workplace sexual harassment that would take place constantly. They even
I actually don't remember that. I actually don't.
used to have their former COO that would go around putting people's faces on his ass and farting in them like he was Peter Griffin from Family
The fuck? What happened at Riot a few years ago? How did I not know about this? What the hell?
Guy, and they were Meg. You might think I'm joking. I'm not.
No
Search it
way.
up.
I'm not good. I trust you, sure. I trust. Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
So after that whole scandal took place, a lot of people started to realize that Riot weren't actually the angels that they proclaimed themselves to be. And they were rightfully
No company is an angel. Guys, why do you think somebody decides to start a company? Just make a company. Make money. Any company exists to make money. If as a company you can't make money, you cannot exist. That's it. Right? Sure, there are some exceptions. Already rich people make a company at a loss because they enjoy it. Sure, there's like a hobby. Doesn't really count. Most companies, especially Riot Games, right, exist to make money in the first place, right?
very upset about it. So Riot did a bunch of damage control. They started saying how that wasn't actually them. They started taking more steps to actually get more involved in the community. And they started putting out things that they hoped would make the community's anger towards them subside. But that was only the beginning of what would inevitably end up being the downfall of Riot and their customers' support of them. So,
You know what I wish a lot more companies did? Which I guess is not really possible, as, oh well, they have to meet standards and so on. But I really wish, like, the communication were better. It's like, Why can't you just come out and say, look, guys, we fucked up. Oh well, this is what we did. We hear you. We don't like this. Whatever. Okay, we'll try to do better. Let's go. Give us suggestions. Let's try to do our best. Right? That's what we want. Instead, we get one of those responses. We got this because we can't sustain, and then and it's like, nobody says anything properly. It's like this. What is so annoying when that happens? Just say everything. Just say I fucked up, and it's like, okay, I respect you. Let's go. I respect you now. Let's go. Right?
The next thing that happened in the timeline of events was when Riot introduced a new CEO back in 2023. This new CEO was someone that worked at Goldman Sachs, and he was just a finance bro that worked.
What is this? Chief Executive Officer, West Coast. Okay.
His way up through Riot and promised
Use diverse financial transactions for fortune. Okay. So I guess he's a finance guy, so he's too focused on profits instead of too focused on making money. I think that's what happens with a lot of video game companies right now. Everybody there is just focused on investing money to make profit instead of actually thinking about making a good game. Like, people need to realize, these companies need to realize that if you make a good game, people are just gonna play it. It's insane. Like, they're just gonna play it. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be perfect graphics, insane. It just needs to feel good. Let's go, we play a good game, you enjoy, and that's it. If you do that, and then add some, like, I don't know, some skins and whatever, that people can just, pay $20, get skin, let's go. People like the game already, they are gonna support you. Much nicer to do that instead of focusing on, okay, let's make a game, how do we monetize it? And then make the game. It's the wrong order, hello? It's so annoying.
Said he could deliver the company as many profits as they could possibly imagine. So what did he end up doing? Well, I'm glad you asked. What he did was he introduced 2 rounds of layoffs. He spearheaded development of predatory business tactics in League, like the gacha system.
Yeah, so you see, this is actually, if he was assigned in 2023, I think he said, right? You see how Riot does everything like 1 year in advance. When did the gacha system come online? December 2024. Like 1 year later. And so he had everything planned already. Oh boy. So even if you backlash right now as a community, you are only gonna see changes next year, maybe. Next season. Because right now it's like too late. They already have everything planned. They can't really change much right now. Because that's how they do it, unfortunately.
And then he also approved, if not even made the foundation for, the $250 or $500 skins that we see nowadays, which are the Exalted skin tier line. So the thing was, he wasn't wrong. He did actually bring Riot more profit with all these changes, but it was at the cost of the community's perception of them. Because now Riot had gone from being something that League players could look at and say, that's the company whose game I play, and it now just...
Actually, that's so true. Like, over these last few years, I've seen, like, the situation with Overwatch, for example, from Blizzard, and Hearthstone, and all those games, right? And Diablo 4, and it's like, bro, I'm so glad I'm playing a game made by Riot. I was always like that. But slowly but surely, Riot is becoming a bit worse recently. And I really don't like that, honestly.
Just became another corporate entity that was just putting out update after update after update that didn't increase players' enjoyment of the game. The only thing it did was increase the amount of money that people spend on the game.
So true. Actually true. And because I wish, like, Riot rework some of the existing systems in the game, Like, why can't we just have more reworks, champion reworks, Oh, but champion reworks cost money, and people, they already have the champion and the skins, they're not gonna buy it. I actually disagree, by the way. You make a cool rework for a champion, people are gonna buy every skin, because it's so cool, right? But yeah, that's them, right? And look at another system that's very embarrassing. It's been embarrassing for such a long time. The League client. The League client has so many problems, man. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. You can barely go into a game sometimes. It's just so bad. It should not be the case. Why can't you have a normal, better client? I don't get it. oh, it takes too much money, makes them no money. That's why. It's a bit annoying. And I wish they just stopped giving such frequent patches. Instead, give higher quality patches. That's kind of what I mean. And sure, balance patches, you know, they could happen more often, cool. But whatever you do, just make it higher quality.
And now you might be wondering, why are they just milking the League player base? Why are they putting out changes that don't actually make people enjoy the game more and just make it so that they spend more? And the reason why is very simple.
Is it because they wanna cash out League of Legends to invest into the new MMORPG and make that the main game? Probably not. I don't think so.
It's because Riot's plan isn't to actually keep developing League of Legends over the next 20 years. It's to milk League of Legends for as much as they possibly can so that they can explore other projects that make them infinitely more money.
I was right. MMO?
So this is the part where you can say maybe I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, but I'm pretty sure that after you guys listen to what I have to say, you'll probably see where I'm coming from.
I mean, let's see what arguments he has, but saying like something like this, right? Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, right? That's the thing. It's like only the people at the head of Riot know exactly what's happening. Most employees don't even know what's happening. Only the few people that control everything, right? Only they know what's happening there. So it's like until you speak with them, it's kind of hard to make up what's happening, right? Sure, you can guess, but it's never going to be 100% confidence, right? But let's see. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what he has to say.
It's been an obvious trend that Riot has been doing everything possible to make money.
Yeah.
So, if we follow that string of logic, then we must also come to terms with the fact that they're probably going to do it outside of the game as well. So the reason why Riot's been milking League of Legends is because they're actually working on other things that they're hoping are going to make them more money long term. And those things were Arcane and also the
True, Arcane, the shows that are coming up, right? Cool. You know, personally, I didn't mind buying the Jinx skin because at least I found it Arcane in a way, right?
development of new Riot games. So one of the things that they actually announced that they're going to release is a trading card game.
Oh, I think I remember something with this. But trading card games, I don't know. Is it just me? But I feel like trading card games are such like niche thing. And the majority of people don't care about cards. Because the way I see card games is... in real life, cards are cool because they can represent like a dragon, for example. You have like a dragon card. It's very cool. But it's like now that everything is online and digitalized, you know, you just have a dragon on screen in the game. It's amazing. You don't need a card. You know, it's like these card games, you know, especially card games online are stupid because you could just have the dragon instead. And then in real life, card games are like, why would you play card games? You just play the game. You just do a LAN party with your friends. It's more enjoyable than trading cards, you know? That's the majority of people, I'm sure. Right? I know a lot of people enjoy card games, right? I played Magic the Gathering IRL. It was fun. I just got bored because it's like, bro, I could just play League of Legends. I could just play Age of Empires, or I could just play anything. That's it, right? It's just, yeah.
And as someone who plays Magic the Gathering, let me tell you that trading card games are the #1 money sink that anyone could get into. Because
True, that's something about cards, right? You just get more and more cards. But again, I don't think it's that many people. That's the problem. There's not that many people that want them.
you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on boxes, and you'll get cards that are maybe worth 50 if you're lucky. They also stalled development on their MMO that they were planning on releasing, and at the time they said that it was because of platform issues that they had to readdress, but if you want my honest opinion, it's because I see in the very near future Riot releasing an actual gacha game. Because
Oh my god, Riot gacha game? Wait, so that's why they introduced the gacha skin system? To see how their player base would react to it? To see what they can expect? Oh no. But the only difference between like an actual gacha game like Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, so many games, Star Rail, Honkai, whatever, and like the gacha system in League of Legends is the fact that the gacha system in those games is the core aka you need to pull, you get free pulls, so you get characters and weapons and stuff to progress your account and so on, aka pay to win. But in League, on the other hand, the gacha system, and they give you skins, customizable stuff, and it's like, doesn't like the game in any way, right? But on the other hand, in League of Legends, skins mean a lot to us. We're so used to getting skins. Skins are cool, so they impact the players a lot. The majority of players really like having cool skins, and it makes sense, right? Of course, they change the way the champion looks, the feels, right? Even though it's the same, in our brain, it's not.
Because the truth is that the two things that make the most amount of money on this planet are trading card games and gacha games. And the fact that Riot is doing everything possible for income shows that they're probably going to release a competitor in the very near future that's a part of the League of Legends universe, which is going to have hype from all the shows like Arcane and Noxus. And that is going to be where they make a lot of money.
Honestly, I think there's a chance they make a gacha game. I never thought about that. I never saw Riot releasing a gacha game because I thought they're better than that, and they won their games too. Like, does any game from Riot right now have pay to win? I don't think so, right? This is why I'm like, they're not gonna release a gacha game. Like, they're not doing pay to win bullshit. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe they're changing their ways now.
Because when they introduce a competitor to games like Wuthering Waves or even Genshin Impact, then all of these people that would play those games are instead going to go for the Riot one because they already have shows and already have emotional connections to the characters from the shows. So obviously they're going to want to play the game that gives...
So imagine they release Jinx in a gacha game. Oh my god, they would make so much money. It's insane how much they would make. Oh my god, imagine.
Some access them, right? My thought is that what Riot's actually doing is they're milking League of Legends for as much as they can, which they've consistently proven that they are, in an effort to release projects that are going to make them way more money than League of Legends ever could. But the real problem with Riot, that I especially have with them, isn't the fact that they're just neglecting their player base, it's also the fact that they've neglected content creators for years.
Okay, I agree with this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you why. So, I feel like two things. First of all, there's a thing called the League Partner Program, right? And over the last couple of years, since I became a bit more popular on YouTube, I'm still a nobody, right? But I became a partner on Twitch as well, right? And the League Partner Program just doesn't exist. I asked around, I ticket Riot, I contacted them, doesn't exist. They don't accept anybody else to join. It's like, really? I don't know, like, why? It's so weird. On top of that, I think the free skins the partners can give to their community, like the partner codes or whatever, I think they're getting rid of that as well. Not 100% sure, I think I heard it somewhere. And it's like, yeah, and on top of that, they probably don't even communicate with their content creators as much because they don't want to be too transparent, because they don't want to show all their plans and stuff like that, maybe, right? Let's see what he has to say.
If Riot really wanted to push their game, then doing things like Arcane is all well and good, but in the longevity of things doesn't actually do anything for the game itself, it only adds to the universe. If Riot actually cared about improving League of Legends as a game and getting more people to actually play this game, then I'll give you a few examples of things that they could have done, and maybe you'll see just how easy these things would have been to implement.
Okay.
So, from an NA perspective, there are two issues as a content creator right now. The first is that high-low queue times are long, and the second is that NA content creators are just leaving.
So queue times being long, I feel like it is what it is. I don't think they can do much about it. I don't think that influence content creators, whatever, it influence normal players as well. I feel like it is what it is, right? It's just that's how it goes. There's not enough players at high elo, right? They're gonna have to wait longer. Okay, no problem, right? It's up to content creators to like become more entertaining in queue in a way, right? That's where their personality shines and what they do in queue.
Some of them are going to EU, some of them are committing to World of Warcraft full-time, some of them are even just
like Taylor One, by the way, I think, right?
quitting streaming entirely. Instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not even millions, on commercials that no one is gonna watch and no one is gonna download League off of, what they could have instead done was dedicate tens of thousands of dollars to prize pools in tournaments that they would have hosted for content creators of their game.
That'd be interesting. Right? Have content creators be like, because when you think about any game, right? A game comes out, people just go on YouTube, go watch guides, go watch content, and so on, right? And then they can play the game themselves. It's like they're at work, they have second monitor, somebody streaming, right? Just consume so much content, right? And that's the case with many games right now, especially a competitive game. Because when you think about a single player game, it's like you just play the game, you're enjoying yourself, cool. You might watch some guides, you might not. But when it comes to a competitive game, everyone wants to get ahead, to be strong, to know what's up, the news, the everything, the strategies, the guides. They consume so much content. So helping your content creators will help your community as a whole, basically, right? You support the positive, cool content creators that bring good vibes and attention to the game itself, right? And you're gonna get rewarded. People want to play the game more now and want to pay more attention and so on, right? And eventually spend more money because of it. And it's like you pay tens of thousands of dollars, as you mentioned, to content creators, and you get a lot more back, right? From the majority of people that saw the videos and so on. Tournaments, it's just tournaments, because you can do anything, right? Tournaments are something.
Imagine for a second we could have had a streamer Royal Rumble where every single challenger League of Legends streamer that gets over X amount of views can create a team of other streamers that have streamed over X amount of hours that then go on to compete against one another and have the finals hosted in the actual Riot Games studio.
That would be something, right? But I feel like this includes too little people, because not every content creator is challenger. That's the thing. Majority of content creators, just like big players in general, are not challengers, right? So you got to think about everybody else.
Killer 1, Team NA versus the Baus Team EU on the...
And that would be cool, don't get me wrong, that's cool. Look at Los Ratones, how they're popping off and people are so hyped to see it. They're bringing so much joy in the community, right? Imagine we had more of that. That's actually founded by Riot. That'd be so cool.
Official Riot Games channel. Imagine how much hype that would give the audience. Imagine how much that would do for League of Legends as a whole, to actually see that the creators are supported. When you look...
That's so true, actually.
Look at games like Fortnite and you see that people are getting skins in the game, then you see that the Fortnite, and you also see that the actual company itself is focused on doing constant changes and constant improvements to their game, as well as even releasing the OG servers. It just makes you wonder, what is Riot even doing?
Honestly, I don't know much about Fortnite, but all I know is that Fortnite is kind of popping off again, right? I feel they're doing many things there.
And I think that is the reason why so many people are so angry about the Hextech chess situation. And it's because Riot is doing nothing. That's the truth. When you compare them to games like Marvel Rivals or games like, or other games that have been releasing recently, and you see just how much, and you see...
But yeah, it's like, you remember, guys, we asked for a winter map for such a long time. But Riot is always like, no, we can't give you a winter map because we made like recent, we added the alcove in top and bot, so we can't give a winter map anymore. And then you have 4 elemental dragons, maybe 5 even right now. And so we can't really add a new winter map for winter, we can't do that. Meanwhile, or 2 guys, I think, just make a whole custom winter rift with all the forms and the alcoves included. 2 guys made for free, no problem. Yeah, and you say you can't, multi-billion-dollar company, right? So it's like, I feel like they have so much bullshit right now, and they care a bit less about making a good game, and they care more about making profit, and that's the step number 1 to just lose everything.
Just how much the community's feedback gets responded to, as well as just how much the developers are actually doing for the game. It makes you look at the Exalted skin, and it makes you say, what do you contribute to this game?
Honestly, I feel like after buying the jinx skin, which by the way, a lot of people like criticized me for buying the jinx skin. think the system is bad, so why do I support it by buying it? I'm a content creator, I'm the jinx guy. It's like I buy the skin. When I was pulling for the skin, like I had hundreds of people on my stream. On YouTube and Twitch. It was insane. My videos reached like tens of thousands of views about the jinx skin. Of course I did it. Right? Yeah. But I wish I didn't have to do it on such a bad occasion, the bad skin. I wish I could do it when, you know, they released a new jinx skin that's legendary, for example, right? And that everybody can buy for cheap, relatively cheap, and is not behind the bullshit gacha system. Right? But, oh well, right, I'm just adapting, but believe me, in the near future, I don't plan to buy anything anymore from Riot. If you don't get value from anything, even the battle pass right now, which sure may be more value when you think about everything that you get, but it's more value for what? For the 3 pulls, for the gacha mechanic, and a bunch of skins you don't care about? Really? Like, kind of not worth it anymore. Can't even get mythic essence anymore from the battle pass, really. Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
And that's the truth of it, guys. The truth is that the real problem with Riot right now isn't the fact that they removed Hextech chests. Because the truth is that them making more profit off of skins is how the company makes its money. But the fact of the matter is that what they've been doing recently to maximize profits outside of just regular skin sales are the things that make this hurt infinitely more.
No, I completely agree. Honestly, I completely agree.
If you're going to be ripping off your community and your player base with gacha systems that they have to spend hundreds of dollars on just to get a skin that looks like it could have been made years ago for
True. True, by the way, the Exalted skins, right? I talked about this in the past, I'm going to say it again. The Exalted skins, in our eyes, we need to pay like $250 to guarantee we get a skin. But in Riot's eyes, you could do one pull, which is $3 or something, and you get the skin instantly. Right? So in Riot's eyes, the Exalted skins are like a legendary, maybe a bit more than a legendary, maybe maximum ultimate skin that people buy in a forced bundle of unknown value. Right? Because personally, I've got the jinx skin, I got everything else. The banner, the other skins, the chromas, and mythic essence. It was like a forced bundle. But the skin itself is only like $25, maybe $30, let's say, right? Worth $30. But everything else, $220. Yeah, yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit you don't care about. But they give it to you as a forced bundle, so they make more money. Nobody wants it except Riot because they make more money. The consumer doesn't want it, right? The consumer wants to choose what they buy, not have a forced bundle upon them. Unknown value, even worse because of the gacha gambling system. And on top of that, yeah, they promote gambling for children. Oh, great.
$35 or for a $35 price point, then it just makes you look at the company with disdain. And that's the truth, is that nowadays I think that's the general sentiment that everyone has. And that's of disdain. It's that they're looking at Riot and how they've been handling League of Legends for years now, and they're realizing that the only real changes that they're doing are changes that line their pockets even more with the money of people that just don't want to let them go. And now the question comes of where do League players go from here? Now,
well, I mean, for this year at least, this year I think nothing will change. People will keep playing the game, but we'll see in the future, right?
obviously, you're going to have people that are going to say uninstall the game. You're going to have people that are going to say stop playing it, stop supporting them. But the truth is that whether or not you're playing League of Legends, it doesn't matter. Because the only way Riot makes money is through RP sales. So if you really want to send a message and you still really love the game itself of League of Legends, then all you have to do is keep playing.
Yeah, keep playing, don't spend any money. You play, you make the servers cost money, and eventually they have to listen, right?
Keep doing what you've been doing, but never, ever buy the $250 skins. Never spend money on the gacha systems. Never spend money on the recent skin releases, because the truth is that as long as people are going to keep paying, then Riot is just never going to listen.
No, that's 100% correct. Yes, I agree. Because it's like if people buy stuff, right? Riot releases an overpriced bullshit jinx skin. People buy it, right? I bought it. Let's go. We did it. It's good. Let's keep doing more. They add the set skin, now they add the Mordekaiser skin. People buy it. Let's go. People wanna eat shit, give them shit, you know, like, yeah, let's go, right? So that's the problem, main problem, you know? And if people don't buy the skins, nothing happens, right? Personally, I'm telling you, it's not buying anything anymore. I'm not buying a single battle pass. I refuse. Not buying a skin anymore, right? I don't care. Yeah. But remember, I'm different because I'm a content creator. Way different than your average player playing the game. I'm the minority here, right? So if the majority of players just don't buy this bullshit anymore, yeah, things will change. But until then, nothing will change. And that's the truth, right? So yeah, I agree with Dantes here, especially because it doesn't just mention Hextech chest, it mentions everything in general. And when you put it together, it does have some valid points. The only problem is, yeah, we just don't know. Are they actually trying to milk us and make new games and new ways of making profits? Or do they actually care about the game? Because, for example, you have somebody like Freak, right? Oh no, Tony's speaking about Freak again, look. But what I like, look, we fixed the bounty bug, yeah? Nobody is paying him to release this video. He just did it because he wants, okay, look, guys, I'll be transparent. Every patch as well, they give us information. And it's cool, right? Transparent developers. But this is the thing, the developers are transparent. Freak wants to let us know what's happening about game design. I think that's amazing. But the problem is not the developers. Management. That's the problem. That is the biggest problem. They are just too focused on profits instead of being focused on let's make a good game. And if the game is good, the profits will come after because that's how things work. It's very simple, right? So yeah, personally, I still love the game. I enjoy playing League of Legends. It's fun. I like improving myself and become a better player and so on. But I'm really not gonna spend any more money on the game because I don't see a reason. I just don't. I think it doesn't make sense to do it anyway. Right? Especially if an average player is an average player right now. Definitely not. Okay, but again, what's important to remember is you shouldn't blame people for spending money on the game. That's fine. Everybody can spend the money, their money however they want, right? But just remember that if the quality goes low enough, people naturally will not want to spend more money on the game. And eventually Riot will change, right? And of course, us complaining and talk about the chests and every comment again is about Hextech chests. Yeah, that's actually just gonna help a lot, right? So eventually, if this keeps continuing, if this keeps going on, we are going to complain more and more, and eventually Riot Games is going to listen. That's what I think. We'll have to see. Only time will tell. Until then, take it easy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.